Good morning from day 2 aboard the Disney Treasure.
Yes.
Today is our first day at sea and started the morning with some breakfast at Marceline Market.
We have learned the hard way that it is incredibly difficult to get a table in Marceline Market or Cabanas unless you go early in the morning.
Yes.
Early in the breakfast service, at least. So this time tested it out and we had plenty of space. But
yeah, no problem at all getting a table.
So basically that's our tip. If you don't mind getting up a little earlier, try to get to breakfast earlier.
Yeah. So this morning we have our princess gathering. So we're about to head there now.
Looking like a princess.
Yes. So have that. Probably some more pictures for the day. Then we have our DVC member celebration this afternoon.
Yes.
So looking forward to that. So come along with us. So we are back in the room after I think last we spoke was the DVC member celebration.
We were heading that way.
So went to that. Different questions for the game show.
Yeah, we'd run into kind of a repeat game show the past few times. So it was fun to have some new stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was busy.
Yes.
It was like standing room only. They said, please fill in all available seats. We're going to be standing room only. So DVC is definitely representing on this sailing.
Yeah, somebody in line was saying, because there's a line to get in.
Yes, a long line.
But someone in line was saying that they talked to some of the DVC representatives, and there's like 230 staterooms on board the sailing.
Right, not just people.
DVC.
Staterooms.
So a lot of people there. Still did have drinks. So yes. Their usual drinks. They have the Cloud and Blue for the children or anybody who prefers a non-alcoholic beverage. They have bottles of water.
Cans of water.
Well, they're bottles, but they are aluminum bottles.
Yes.
And then the adult beverage is like a sparkling wine, vodka, sparkle.
It's a blue cocktail with sparkles.
Yes. So, yummy stuff. But yeah.
And Minnie came out at the end in her captain outfit. Because I had seen in a previous post online that Minnie came out in her new special treasure outfit. So we were like, oh, is it going to be it? And then it was Minnie in her captain outfit, which was still fun and fabulous. We didn't wait to see her because we had already seen her in that outfit yesterday. And we're scurrying to get to the Jungle Cruise expedition in the lobby.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I'll put that below. But yeah, the Jungle Cruise themed, like family friendly kind of game activity was a bit strange.
The DVC member meetup ran a little long, so by the time we rolled up to the Jungle Cruise activity, all the boats were full, so we were just standing upstairs.
And I'll put clips of the show right here.
Our boats go their separate ways, but don't worry, we'll meet again.
Yeah, we're gonna go down the Irrawaddy. I know a couple shortcuts that'll get us to the end faster than you.
Oh yeah, well I know the Zambezi like the back of my hand, okay? It's totally the faster route. Hey, that's me.
Sage and Coriander starred in the show as skippers.
Lily and Frank.
Right, referencing the new Jungle Cruise movie. And they were very fun. They were really working their crowds because each had a boat full of people that was a rope on the ground. But their mics, it would be like one talking to their boat, and then the mic would cut and they would just continue to do their thing, and then the other person's mic would come up and then they would talk to their boat. So if you were in the boat, there was something constantly happening. for you in your boat. But if you were just watching, it was kind of like going back and forth and
very hard to follow from the
right.
Observer perspective.
Right. It was more of an activity than a stand there and watch.
Yeah.
So I guess our advice would be to get there early and try to get try to actively participate.
Yeah.
So
look like fun.
So you can have the most fun if you are participating.
People on the boat seemed to be having fun at least. So, but yeah. And then from that, I don't even remember what we did.
Well, at that point, I had walked by the Incredicourse and said, "Let's do it."
Oh, that's true.
And he said, "I don't have socks." And I was like, "We could get socks." And he said, "No." And I said, "Okay, then I'll do it." So I did the Incredicourse.
And you did a wonderful job.
And I ran with a little boy who absolutely smoked me. Because he was an only child. And I was like by myself because he didn't have socks.
I had to record too.
And the little boy, I was like, "If you race with me, I think you're gonna win." And then he was like, "Okay, game on." And he did. After that, though, we grabbed some lunch on the pool deck at Donald's Cantina. We had burrito bowls, and they were yummy.
They were very yummy. This was my first time having Donald's Cantina, so I always gravitated towards the barbecue on the Wish. It was really good. I had the carnitas, but yeah.
But it's a double Mexican food day because we're having Coco later tonight.
Yes.
But after lunch, we came down here for a bit, didn't we?
We did.
And our room wasn't ever serviced, so I don't know if and we did not know who it was. So we contacted guest services and kind of chatted about that. And then kind of went back out in the world to give time for things to be taken care of. And during that time, we did the Trivia of Imagineering.
Yes.
Which was difficult.
Easier than I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be just a lot of short answer and just off-the-wall questions, but there were really just a couple curveballs.
There were a few specific to Imagineers in particular. There were several that if you know and like the parks, you'd do fine.
Yeah.
But it was a learning experience. We did not win.
We came pretty close because we got 17 and the winners got 19.
Yeah.
So
didn't do too bad. But there's a trivia later that I think we've got a little higher hopes pinned on. But
this is true.
I'm not getting my hopes too high.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But after that, we went to Who's Behind the Curtain? Because we had actually popped back to the room. Still was not serviced or was
actively being cleaned.
in the process. So we were like, okay. So then we did watch Who's Behind the Curtain? The cute little let's have children ask yes or no questions game to find out who's behind the curtain.
Yeah.
So, and that was our last thing before heading up.
Yeah, and learned that the formal night outfits start fairly soon.
Well, we've heard a couple different things. Cast members who we've asked have said 6 p.m. A guest services person said this afternoon. It doesn't say it, but basically within the next hour. Or even now, they might already be in their formal attire. So it's time for us to get...
Yes, if we need to get pictures of the characters, we need to change.
We got to get gussied up, because it's formal night, baby.
Yes, so time to change into our formal wear and get ready for formal night. And just like that, all changed and ready for formal night.
Yes.
Ready to meet some characters, see the adventure, and dine at the Coco restaurant.
And receptions, and there's a dance party. I don't know if we'll
Yeah,
make it in time, but
that's new on this ship. It hasn't been on the previous sailings that we've experienced, but there's a formal night party at like 10:15 tonight. So
there's a lot going on.
Yes, so come along with us and enjoy some formal night fun.
Bienvenidos a Santa Cecilia!
We are so excited to have you all here tonight in our home to celebrate and help us prepare for Dia de los Muertos. Come on.
It's been 3 years since we lost our dear Mama. And every year in her honor, we welcome guests from all over the world to join our celebration. And to help us get ready, huh? Nobody in this family is leaving until we hand el papel picado.
Okay, Mama, but where's Bill? Is he in the attic again playing with that guitar?
Ay, don't worry so much, mi amor. I'm sure he's on his way. He's all grown up now. There's so much to celebrate. Maybe we'll even do a little dancing. And the food is going to be wonderful, mi amor.
Of course it's going to be wonderful. I made everybody's favorites. Tacos, flan, enchiladas, and my famous shrimp yellow. You're gonna love it, huh? All with the help of my daughter-in-law, Lisa. But tonight is very special, and not just because of the food. You see, our family has a long and beautiful heritage
Of shoes! Made with generations of Rivera family pride and joy.
Now, music. Hey, Nico, you really have to let the shoes thing go.
Like Mama.
My grandfather, mi abuelito, el gran Héctor Rivera.
Sí, señor!
Wrote a lot of very beautiful, very famous songs. And they were all stolen by a cruel man named Ernesto de la Cruz. But it turned out that the lyrics to his songs were all written in the letters that he sent my Mama Coco when she was just a little girl. And ever since we found out the truth, things have changed so much for my familia.
You chorro, they changed. You know, there's so much music and singing and dancing in the house now that you never would have guessed it wasn't allowed before.
That's true. I was very wrong about everything. And I sure had a lot of apologizing to do. You know how that goes, right? Pero bueno, gracias a Dios, I make the best enchiladas, amigos. My favorite apologies come from the kitchen.
Well, it's hard not to forgive those enchiladas, Mama.
And now Dia de los Muertos is even more special because it's filled with music. A ver, by a show of hands, how many of you have a song that reminds you of a loved one? A ver, sí, muy bien. Ay, qué bonito. Ay, ay, pues that's wonderful. I love it. Those people will always be with you because you have such a beautiful way to celebrate them.
She's right. They really will always be with you. Siempre, abuelita.
Ay, mi niño, mi Miguelito. Ay, you get a dimple. As I was saying, music is one of the many ways we connect with our loved ones. And that is why I want to start this evening by introducing one of my favorite musicians. And he's all grown up now. My grandson, Miguel!
Hey guys, welcome. How are you? Good evening. Right now, okay? Hi guys, welcome. Let's do this right.
Señoras y señores, buenas tardes, buenas noches, buenas tardes, buenas noches, señoritas y señores. We're here with you tonight, because we know you get alegría. This music is my language, and the world is familia.
This music is my language, and the world is mi familia. This music is my language, and the world is mi familia.
Hola, hola everyone! Amigos, where are you from? You señores, buenas tardes, buenas noches, señoritas y señores. To be here with you tonight brings me joy, qué alegría. For this music is my language and the world es mi familia.
This music is my language and the world is mi familia.
Music is my language and the world es mi familia.
This music is my language and the world is mi familia.
Music is my language and the world es mi familia. Everybody, I can't believe you're all here to get ready for the Dia de Muertos with us. It's my favorite holiday, you know? A few years ago, Dia de los Muertos changed my life forever. And now look at this big celebration.
A celebration you almost missed. Miguel, what took you so long to get here, mijo? You're so late.
Abuelita, don't worry so much. I must have lost track of time playing music. You see, I have to sing. I have to play. The music. It's meant to see me who I am. It's lo que soy. You know that feeling, abuelita? Like there's this song in the air and it's playing out for you. I know me too. Feeling so close, you can reach out and touch it. I never knew I could want something so much, but it's true. Only a song has the power to change the heart.
I do. Music is one of the many ways we connect with our ancestors. And just like your Papa Hector, you play so beautifully. Your gift has become such an important part of how we celebrate Dia de los Muertos. But if you don't stop and eat, you're gonna fade away because it's full of
Don't worry, Mama. We're about to fix that right now. We have so much to do to get ready for Dia de los Muertos. The music, the decorations, all the different parts of your friend that have to come together. And we sure can do it on an empty stomach. Everyone, are you feeling hungry? Yeah. Ay, en serio, you're really feeling hungry? Perfecto, the food is ready to eat.
And it smells really good, huh?
Hi, wonderful! Tonight you are all familia, and we have been working so hard to prepare a big family meal for all of you to enjoy. A lot of things might have changed for us over the past few years, but if there is one thing you can all be sure of, is that nobody goes hungry here tonight. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the food. It's time to eat. A comer! While you're all eating, I asked our friends El Dueto de Santa Cecilia to come and play a few songs for all of you to enjoy.
El Dueto de Santa Cecilia are a Rivera family favorite. They're kind of legends around here, and one day I hope I can be one of them. This next song is one of my mama's favorite. It pays homage to our opera Latino musical roots, and it's about a love that cannot be. So please, give it up for Julián
Y Álvaro!
¡Viva Santa Cecilia y seguro que sí, bravo! ¡Chale, compadre!
¡Ahora está bailar, mi amor!
¡Y ahora empieza! ¡Anímate a bailar, chaparrita! ¡Anímate!
Ay, 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 vámonos pues.
Miguel, you're late, mijo. Ay, don't worry so much. ¿Te partes un poco loco? Poquito, sí.
A ver si es cierto. ¿Ready?
A ver, ready?
Ok.
Chale, compadre. 1, 2, 3. You make me un poco loco, un poquitito loco. The way you keep me guessing, I'm starting and I'm guessing. I'll count it as a blessing. Nos vemos. How's it coming que tengo miedo a perder, a perder.
Esa guitarra
Tengo miedo a perderte
Tengo miedo a perderte después.
And guess what? I have the secret ingredient for your dessert right here.
Mira, you take these.
Okay.
I'll take this.
Right.
I need you to hang those before everybody leaves. I will never get them up there by myself.
Perfect.
Gracias, mijo.
De nada.
Anaín, play his favorite song, okay? Don't worry, we're musicians. It's fine.
Thank you, mijo.
Is it too late for one more song? For you? Of course not, Miguelito. What song you're thinking of? Well, that's easy. You should be Sirita Linda, right? Sirita Linda is one of my favorite songs to sing with my family. The lyrics mean sing and don't cry because when we sing, our hearts are happy. And after all our family has been through, I'm so grateful we can finally share that happiness together. Ay, 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 ay.
What a wonderful evening this has been!
No, it's not even over yet!
It's been so wonderful to have all of these new friends join us here in Santa Cecilia before Dia de los Muertos.
And to share our family's musical heritage with everyone here.
That's true. It means so much to me to share my passion with all of you and to know it came from my ancestors before me. That's why I love to see them here in the ofrenda, abuelita. When we put up the pictures, we share stories about them all because we know they're right here with us.
Ay, mijo, I would have to agree. But before everybody leaves, there is one more thing we have to do.
Abuelita, they already ate all the enchiladas. They're all gone.
No, mijo, we have to hang el papel picado.
El papel
Everyone! Señoras y señores, buenas tardes, buenas noches, buenas tardes, buenas noches, señoritas y señores, we're here with you tonight. my language in the world. Es mi familia.
Okay, so we are back in our room after the evening. It's Easy Adventure.
Super cute.
Super cute as always. Great Crush.
Crush sang very, very well. And the people behind us, it was a family, and their children were just so into it. So that was a lot of fun. Because that makes it more exciting for us when it's like, "Wah!" happening behind us.
Yes, very excited to see Elsa.
Yes.
So
Elsa's definitely fave. And then, of course, spoiler alert, Mickey comes out, and the children behind us and pretty much everybody in the theater lost their minds.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very fun.
Yeah. And then we went to Muppets Trivia.
Yes.
And
I made my family proud.
yes, indeed, we won.
Question number 4 reads, from 1996 to 1998, the Muppets starred in which show? Is that A, It's the Muppets, B, Muppets Again, C, Muppets Tonight, or D, The Kermit Show? This right here is question number 5, true or false? The Muppets made multiple appearances during the first season of television's Saturday Night Live. Question number 8. At Disney's Hollywood Studios, the Muppets starred in which attraction? Starred as in past tense. Question number 12 reads, who portrayed Long John Silver in 1996's Muppet Treasure Island? Question number 13, who was the first Muppet to make regular appearances on network television? Is that A, Kermit, B, Gonzo, C, Fozzie, or D, Ralph? Number 18, what iconic number from 1979's The Muppet Movie has become Kermit the Frog's theme song?
And we had some lucky guesses, actually, along the way. But then one in the tiebreaker, because we knew how tall Thog, the largest Muppet, is in inches.
Yes.
So, Thog is 9.5 feet tall, so 114 inches. So we got it spot on, and brought home it wasn't a Mickey medallion this time.
No, it is the cruise ship medallion.
Yes.
So, very exciting. And then we headed off to dinner at Plaza de Coco.
Yes.
Restaurant as a whole, very well themed.
The vibes were riding high off of the trivia win, and the vibes just kept riding high in the restaurant. So it was just beautiful. We were very, very happy.
Yes. Table location was fantastic.
We got incredibly lucky. This evening was about us getting lucky.
Yes.
Basically. Between the trivia and then just when we walked up to our table, it was just
right there.
Right in the front. We also, yesterday we were seated at a 6 top with another couple, and tonight it was us and the other couple again at an 8 top table. So plenty of room to spread out. A great view of the show, so just really lucky. And we liked a lot of the food.
Yeah. Something I will say about today's dinner and Marvel yesterday, compared to our experience on the Wish, they're a lot better with the pacing of the meals on the Treasure.
It is,
Marvel especially.
It is down to a science.
Yes. Of show pauses, and in the lulls you eat. That was not the case in the Wish for Marvel or for Frozen.
And maybe that's been adapted since we've been on there.
True.
But this is it's a well-oiled machine.
Yes.
But even in the performance for tonight's dinner, it was, we're making food, so it's time for you to eat. And then they would go away, and it would kind of signal like, eat, we're not doing anything. And then they'd come back, typically partway through that break, play a little bit and then be more like, oh, did you get enough to eat? Okay, well, here comes more. So it was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah. Bread service for Coco is not bread. It is chips and salsa.
Mm. Chips
were fine. They were nice and warm.
Yeah, that was nice. It was nice that they were warm.
Salsa was very, very mediocre. It was
sad.
Yeah. Compared to the salsa that's up on the pool deck,
right,
it had no flavor. It was just like tomato paste, basically. But salsa aside, appetizer-wise, we both tried the shrimp Diabla, sorry. And I also tried the croquettes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the croquettes were fantastic. The chorizo croquettes. Came with 3 to 1 order. I thought that was a good amount because they were fairly filling for what they were. So would highly recommend getting that one. Very just kind of, I won't say creamy because they really weren't creamy, but very smoky for the chorizo. Mm-hmm. But very, very good. And then the shrimp.
I thought it was great.
Yes.
It was a good portion. The bread that came with it was a surprise. And it was more of a toast, like a crostini situation to dip in the remaining sauce. So I thought that was great.
It did have some spice.
It did have some heat. It was not spicy to a lot of people, but there was a little bit going on.
I think it'd be spicy for kids.
Yeah.
It's fairly spicy for being Disney, I would say that.
It's Disney spicy.
Yeah. The potatoes were also a weird touch, but I liked it.
They were there.
So. But yeah, that was good. Then you ordered the chicken tortilla soup.
Mm-hmm. It was odd. It wasn't bad. There wasn't hardly any chicken in the soup. There was a lot of tortillas, which by the time I got it, it was fairly soggy. But it was very tomatoey with just like a little bit of other stuff going on. So it was fine, but I don't think I would order it again. If you're dying to have some soup, it's totally fine.
Yeah. And then entree-wise, we got 3 total. So you ordered the
pollo asado.
And then I ordered the short rib, and then we both shared the snapper.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the short rib was fantastic. Really good flavor, just kind of melted apart, didn't need a knife at all. Weirdest thing about it was I don't think it is traditional Mexican by any means, especially with like potatoes and green beans, but it was very good.
So maybe not the most authentic of the entrees available, but we could be wrong. We don't know.
True.
The pollo asado, when the chicken was good, it was really good. And other times it was just very well cooked chicken. It wasn't super flavorful. The rice was rice. The pico with it was fun. And then I'm not a plantain girl, but even for that part of the dish, it was pretty bland. It didn't really taste, it wasn't a strong flavor. I was expecting it to be like, oh, I'm not into plantains, I'm not gonna like this. But it was more just, okay, it's just here. So basically though, eating the snapper was pretty fishy.
It was.
But the sides were fantastic.
Yes.
So my perfect meal would be the refried beans and the fried yuca from the snapper with the chicken. So if I could make my perfect meal, and maybe the pico, throw it in there for fun, that would have been my perfect meal.
Yeah, the sides for the snapper dish were clear winners. I think among my sides too. The potatoes were good, but I think the sides for the snapper were the winner. But yes, the snapper was a little too fishy, a little overcooked. It just wasn't great quality fish. So we'd skip that, but we'd get the sides.
Like I said, if you just asked for they will help you get what you ask for if you ask your servers. So, and maybe you would have a different experience. That's why we like to try a lot of different things to see what we think is the best.
Yeah.
For next time for us and for next time for y'all.
Exactly.
And then dessert was awful sweet.
Yes. And again, trying a whole bunch of stuff so we know what is best. So we got everything except for the sundae.
Which the sundae was going over really well with other folks around us.
So there was that. Probably should have gotten it just to try it, but that was just so much food.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered the no sugar added coffee dessert, coffee creme. Very similar to a tiramisu. Weirdly, the no sugar added desserts are usually misses for me, except the coffee based ones or the tiramisu-esque ones. Those seem to work pretty well. So I was happy with that one. Doesn't really taste like it's no sugar added, so it's pretty good. The tres leches, so coconut tres leches cake, really good.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you like coconut.
Yes, you have to like coconut.
And are expecting it.
And the texture of coconut. True. You have to like both the flavor and the texture of coconut.
So if you don't mind texture of coconut, you don't mind like semi-soggy cake, then that's the dessert for you.
Well, I mean, that's what tres leches is.
True.
If that's what you're into, then you're gonna be really happy with it.
True. And the ice cream that was with it was also very good. It was a dulce de leche ice cream, so that was pretty good. And then the last one that I ordered was the Mexican chocolate tart, which was super rich and with just really chocolatey. Did have a little bit of heat to it. So I think I had some cayenne or some sort of spice in there that didn't really hit you at first, but kind of like tickled your throat. Mm-hmm. Like maybe 30 seconds later. So pretty good, pretty rich, but yeah, would still get that one again.
And I had the flan and the margarita lime cheesecake. The flan was basically Plaza de Coco's version of creme brulee. Essentially. I didn't get a lot of the flavor that I was expecting based on the description.
Did not taste like a normal flan.
No. It tasted like a creme brulee. But I like creme brulee, so I liked it. But it was odd for a flan. And I mean, sometimes the textures are very similar. But I think I was expecting a more like sweet and savory, because it was supposed to be the flan de queso. Unless I'm misremembering things. But it was just rich, decadent, sweet. The margarita lime cheesecake was very light. It was basically a fluffy lime cheesecake. So if you wanted a lighter option to end your meal, then that would be the pick. But I am stuffed.
Yes, same.
Absolutely stuffed. The performers were great. They seemed to be having a lot of fun up there. The people in the crowd were really into it. It was just a really nice night.
Yeah. I think as a whole, I would probably say, from what we've seen so far, the Coco Restaurants, performance-wise, is probably the best dinner show on Disney Cruise Line, compared to Tangled that we've seen and Frozen on the Wish. It blows Frozen out of the water.
Yes, I was gonna say Tangled's hard because there's so much character interaction, and they're not giving you that in this dinner, but they're just having so much fun.
Yeah.
That it's really engaging, it's really exciting, and it's just really nice to see. And it seems like they're really getting the crowd going. But they don't work the crowd in the same way that the performers do for the Rapunzel's Royal Table dinner.
True.
So I think it's very different. And I mean, just princesses versus Coco is also a very different crowd.
True.
Potentially. Maybe not. But a lot of fun. They seem to be having a great time. And I'm excited to go back.
Yes, same. For sure. In 3 days, we get to celebrate Dia de los Muertos with them. Mm-hmm. So that'll be exciting. But that kind of wrapped up our evening. Came back to our towel animal, which was what we think is a hermit crab, with a Happy Mother's Day chocolate coin with chocolates in the shape of a heart, because today is Mother's Day.
So happy Mother's Day to all the moms, grandmas, fur moms, and all the mother figures out there.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom, who's currently house sitting and babysitting our cats. So we can come here and do this with y'all.
Indeed.
But there's coming up on a dance party.
Yes.
So I think we're gonna go
check out the film of that dance party. I'll put a clip of that right here.
The music just keeps going. Let me see you move.
But that will do it for us for this evening. So tune in next time when we have our second sea day.
Yes.
Not really sure what we have planned, but I'm sure it'll be some fun. Maybe some trivia, more trivia than we've been doing so far. But yeah, so that'll do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
See you real soon.